All right. So today, early day till right now, I wake up usually around 5:30. Um, but anyways, guys, it's not about me. What I do want to cover in this video is why kids lose respect at home and how it affects their lives. Kids lose respect at home when there's not much respect at home. Okay? Everything in life, guys, the way people are, there are reasons why. I do not think in religious ways. So I don't say stuff like leave it to God, it's all God's plan, this and that. I understand people do that for different reasons. I personally approach life in reasonable and as analytical ways as possible. I made a video a couple of days ago as to why you should apply math concepts in your life. If you want, watch that. I explain why. But when there is no respect among the parents of the kids, so the dad, the mom, um, they lose respect for them and at home. When there is lying going around at home where the dad lies to mom, mom is pissed, or the mom lies to dad, either way, kids pick that up, guys. They pick that up. They're like, okay, my mom is not honest with my dad. My dad is not honest with my mom. Why should I be honest? Yeah, why? So you set the example as a parent. Parents set the example to their kids. Okay? Now, some may argue and point out that how one parent affects the daughter more or the son. That is true to some extent, but let's not get lost in how mom affects the son, how dad affects the daughter. That is true, actually, to a large extent. It is very true. But both parents, when there's respect lacking at home, when there is communication lacking at home, when there's transparency lacking at home, that's gonna affect the kids. When there's chaos going around, when one parent is too absent, the other parent is like getting all resentful and upset and frustrated as to why am I the only one raising the kids or worrying about the kids more than this other person that I'm with. That has a serious negative impacts and consequences as the kids grow older. They're gonna have trust issues. They're gonna have relationship issues. They're gonna have commitment issues because they, in their heads, look at their parents and the kind of relationship they had. So they constantly are in, I don't want to say fight and flight mode because that's whole different. It could be, um, but they get into this lifestyle where they're like, if when they mature and they bring in someone into their life, they're constantly are like, okay, this person is gonna lie to me, this person is gonna hurt me, this person is gonna make a promise they're not gonna fulfill because that's what my dad did, that's what my mom did. And it gets really frustrating for the person from the outside to really understand. Well, not under, I mean, if they have the sense of understanding, they will understand, but it makes that much relationships harder. And then depressingly, sadly, unfortunately, whatever term that's appropriate in this case, they will bring in people like that into their lives. So whether it's a son, whether it's the daughter, they're gonna bring in people kind of resembling their parents because that's what they learned and that's what they attract. So they're gonna attract people that will be dishonest, that will hurt them, that will betray them. Here's another thing. Be there for your kids. Listen to them, understand them, encourage them, take them to places that encourages their curiosity, makes them think. And whenever you make promises to your kids, make sure you stand by your word and fulfill that, because if you don't, they will remember that. Do not say crap like, or grow out of it. No, that sticks. That really sticks. Generally speaking, not everyone is that way, but generally speaking, they remember that. They remember, like, hey, my dad promised me something, and then he just, the promise was a lie. My mom said something she didn't do. That's betrayal, guys. Kids take that very seriously, to in their mind, to their heart, whatever the appropriate, the best term for you is. They take that seriously. They're like, yeah, I was lied to. I was betrayed. I thought my parent will do this. They didn't. They made excuses, or they said they will be there. They were not. They remember that, guys. They remember that really well. I've seen it with my own, within my own family. Um, my parents very luckily didn't do that. My mom, my dad, whenever they said something, they did it. But I've seen it with my own close friends. I've seen it with other people. Yeah, dad said he's gonna be here. He didn't. Mom said she's gonna do this. She didn't. She lied. He lied. Yeah. So it's usually the parents that set the first example, and then it's the older siblings that set the secondary example. Because again, kids always look up to their parents, and then they look up to their older siblings, and when you both sides disappoint them, that sticks, and that sticks in a really bad way. They just can never let go. So, and then they become that way. And one other thing I've noticed about people like that is they always obsess over doing things on their own. They always obsess over, like, things like, I want to do it on my own. I want to, because they have serious trust issues. They don't want to rely on somebody else, or think that somebody else is going to bring something good. They always think, oh, I'm going to get screwed. I'm going to get screwed. This person is going to betray me. This person is going to hurt me. This person is going to say they're going to do something, and they're not going to do it. So that's the mindset they pretty much depressingly live with. They have serious trust issues. They always think that this person is out there to get me. This person is out there to get me. And then in their own personal relationships, they end up bringing some low-ass people that are shits, for lack of a better word. Sorry, guys. That tell them one thing or present themselves in one way, and then they turn out something else. So then again, they go back to their memories and say, oh shit, this is what my close family member did to me, and now this guy is doing this, or she is doing this. So that triggers that immediate fight and flight mode, as to run away or distance themselves. And one other thing, I've noticed, is that people like that always obsess over pushing people off or away, and say, okay, no, I'm gonna do it on my own. When doing my own, when I was a lot younger, I didn't get it. I was like, okay, why is she, I like the girls I liked, why is she like this? Later on, as I got to, like, if I got to know her parents, her family, or if I would have listened to her. I mean, I did listen to her. I just remembered I couldn't quite process it at that time well, but as I grew older, I noticed that, oh, there were reasons why she would say these things. There's reasons why she's acting this way. And it's because of her own family. Um, and it's because the people that are close to her, they betrayed her. And that's a scar, that's a damage they did. And now she has this scar, and that scar is influencing her life, her decision making, her thinking. At least in my case, obviously. I like the opposite gender, so yeah, that's what I've at the time it was really frustrating. I was like, okay, I want to do this for her, I want to do this for her, and I did. But why is she, like, constantly thinking I'm gonna do something else? It would get frustrating. I would get upset, she would get upset. I would go back and say, hey, I'm sorry, let me just do this for you. And then she would be like, okay, thank you, sorry. And then boom, again, another incident. And it's because of her family. So just to give you a quick example, guys, a personal example. I was supposed to get engaged. I mean, I was not supposed to get, I was engaged. I wanted to get settled down years ago, more than 10, 15 years ago, twice. And with twice I was entangled. Maybe entangled is not a right word, but I was with someone that came from a family that was betrayed her in her childhood, and it was just very hard for her to kind of accept what happened in the past, and she brought that into our relationship. So whenever I would say, okay, let's settle down, let's start a family, she wanted to, I wanted to, but she always had this fear that something bad is gonna happen once we are settled down. Um, at the time, it didn't make sense. I was like, okay, if this is an excuse for something else, just tell me. I get it. If you don't see me in your future or in your life, I mean, it sucks. Yeah, it's disappointing, but I get it. I will get it. I will understand. I will just, we will part ways. You part your way, I part my way. I'm sure there's somebody out there that will, that you will settle down with, and for me as well. But when it got to that conversation, she would be like, no, 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 no. And then later on, she opened up and she clearly told me, she was like, it's because my dad left us when we were really young to start another family. So that sense of abandonment, that sense of rejection was in her. And it was just, right there. She didn't quite, and I don't blame her, she didn't quite process that or accepted it. It was that, issue of closure that she never got. So it stick in her. It was a big scar, and that influenced our relationship, and the marriage that I had planned didn't happen because of that specific reason. Is she thought that I'm gonna do the same thing like her dad did. And it's just like, no matter how much you try, if somebody's like in that kind of mindset, it's very difficult, guys. It's very, very challenging. It's not impossible, but it's very challenging to really be in a place and mode in that with that person, where do something or travel together or do fun activities together when that person is constantly thinking you're gonna screw them over because of what happened in the past. So, yep, guys, I don't want to make this more longer. Parents need to be honest, transparent, stand by their word, be there for their kids, and do what they say. And if they can't do something, they should tell their kids, I'm sorry, at this time I cannot do it, but let me just make it up to you, and I will do it. That sucks too, but it sucks a lot less than saying something and not doing it, or straight up lying. Like, you just lie. Oh, I'm doing this, and then he or she realizes, oh, you are lying. You're doing something else behind our back, behind my mom's back, behind my brother's back, behind my back, but you're saying something else to me. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Don't do that. It does a lot of damage, permanent damage too, actually. And then when somebody else you would want your kids to be with, or forget somebody else, just let's say you want them to live a good, healthy life, they cannot because of the things you have done. So, yeah, I know it's a little bit of a grim topic. I've dealt with kids like this. I work with kids in foster care. They come from homes like this, guys, and I've had personal relationships with women that came from homes like that. And no matter how much I put in the effort, no matter how much I try to show her, I guess the good side, or she would revert back to what happened to her. That's it, guys. Have a great time. Have a great day. Until next time.